Hi, ladies. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Before I forget to tell you, next week there won't be any videos, okay? Because of Easter week or Holy Week. But there are some videos or resources that you can do if you go to the English School webpage. There's a section that you can click on and they'll show you some online resources, okay? Um, okay, so we're going to do page 35 today, talking about national customs. Um, so we're going to start here. Now, it is a listening activity, well, from 2B. So I've created a dialogue that hopefully you will be able to understand and it makes sense, and that it should help you with activity C. But first, let's look at 2A. It says work with a partner, decide how customs connected with these aspects of life from 1 to 5 could be difficult for someone from another country. Now, thinking about um, Spain, obviously, and how could it be difficult, these things, for someone from another country? Food, religion, timetables, clothes, and topics of conversation. Okay, so is there a problem for people who come from outside of Spain um, in relation to food? Um, I'll give you an example for me as what I would say that generally speaking, um, I don't think there would be a problem, but I do find, at least in Lugo, specifically here in Lugo, it is very difficult to find a variety of foods. So I find that, at least here in Lugo, if it's not Chinese, Italian, then and now Japanese, okay, Japanese as well. There are a few more restaurants. I think it's very difficult to find a variety. So if you are from other countries that maybe you want to find your food or to find different food, I think it would be a little bit difficult. Um, Religion, what would be difficult? Would it be difficult? I remember when I first moved to Lugo. I can't speak for the rest of Spain. I know Spain is different and different regions have different customs. Um, I remember being very, very surprised that Lugo wasn't as religious as I expected it to be. I thought it was part of everybody or almost everybody's custom of going to church on Sundays. Now, my parents are Catholic and I was raised Catholic, and I did go to church very often. Not necessarily because it was my choice to, but it was part of my family's custom. Um, and when I moved here, I just assumed that because, you know, Portugal and Spain were very close together, I assumed that it would be the same kind of attitude towards religion. And I remember talking to some Spanish people, and they said to me, "Oh, religion is horrible. Chris, you don't go to church, do you?" And I remember thinking, oh my goodness, I didn't know what to say. I was in shock. Um, so I think um, that was my perception of it being not so, people not being so open to it. But maybe there's an opposite perception as well, that maybe people are too religious, and people might be taken aback by it as well, especially if you are not Catholic, if you are not a Christian. Um, Okay, so I don't want to say too much because I'd actually like you to write out this activity. Okay, so try to think about how these things could be difficult for someone from another country when they come to Spain. All right, so activity B says, listen to Emily, a British woman, talking about her experiences of other national customs and aspects of life. Um, and as you listen, I would like you to choose if the statements are true or false. Okay? So I've recorded myself. Hopefully you can hear it well. You should be able to. All right, here we go. Hi there. Today we're talking to Emily, a British woman who has had many experiences traveling and experiencing national customs around the world. Emily, can you tell us something about your experiences? Yes, of course, I'd love to. Emily, you've traveled to Mexico, is that correct? Yes, I have. Mexico was a fantastic experience. What do you think was the most difficult for you being in Mexico? Well, I have to say that I found the early starts very, very difficult. And in England, I start really, really early. And why was it such a difficult problem for you? Well, because in England, I used to go to bed really, really late because I didn't have to get up that much earlier. But in Mexico, I always had to go to bed early. Oh, well, that's interesting. Now, you've also been to other countries. What about in other countries? Did you have to get up early? No, not at all. In Spain, I didn't have to get up early at all. But the meal times were interesting. Really? What do you mean? Well, in Spain, they never ate early. Lunch was always very, very late. Oh, and was that difficult for you? Not at all. I actually like to eat late because I don't like having a big dinner. So if I have a big lunch, then that's not a problem. Oh, that's interesting. Now, what can you tell me about Italy? You've lived in Italy as well, correct? Yes, I have. Italians are very particular with their coffee. Really? What do you mean about that? Well, some people say that you can have a cafe latte only in the morning, and in England, it's very common to have a coffee with milk in the afternoon. But in Italy, if you have a cafe latte in the afternoon, they look at you very, very strangely. So now I only have a cafe latte in the morning. Oh, that's very interesting. And what about Carnival in Italy? Have you experienced Carnival in Italy? Yes, I have. It was amazing. But I've also had Carnival in England and in Spain. Oh, in England? Is Carnival a custom in England, in the UK? Not really. It's not a very big, huge custom, but in Notting Hill, it is very common to celebrate Carnival, But we don't celebrate it at the same time as in Spain, for example. We celebrate it in the summer. Oh, wow, that is very different. And going back to the carnival in Italy, I imagine you've been to the carnival in Venice and in Rome as well. No, unfortunately, I've only been to the carnival in Venice, but I do definitely want to visit Rome's carnival as well. Okay, so that's the audio. I hope it wasn't too horrible. I promise if I have to do some more audios in the future, I will do a much better job. All right, so activity C. If you need to listen again, go back and listen and choose true or false. Okay? All right, so number 1. She always used to go to bed early in Mexico. True. 2. She found meal times too early in Spain. False. She now agrees with Italians about when to drink certain types of coffee. True. 4. She only experienced carnival in Italy. False. 5. Carnival is custom in the UK. False. Okay, not really. Although it's celebrated in Notting Hill, it's not really a custom, so false. And 6. Emily has celebrated carnival in 2 places in Italy. False. Okay, so she'd been to Venice, but not Rome. Okay. Activity D, all right, it says discuss these questions with your partner. Obviously, there's no partner. So, again, you can write these out and I will correct them for you. Which customs in your country do people from abroad enjoy? Which aspect of life in your country might be difficult for people from another country? And have you ever been to a country where you found certain aspects of life difficult? So there you have some example answers. I think people from another country would really enjoy our custom of big, long lunches. I totally disagree with that, but that's okay. Everything starts late in the evening here. If you go to a party, it doesn't start until 10 p.m. That might be difficult for people from another country. Yes, it was. Now I'm accustomed to it, but oh God, at the beginning it was horrible. And I found shop closing times difficult in the UK. In the smaller towns, everywhere closes so early at around 5:30. Okay, so we're going to stop there for today. Remember, next week there's no class, okay? So you can send me the information or any of the activities that you've done, okay? So I hope you have a fantastic Easter. I hope you can relax and go outside and see family if possible. I don't know if you're quarantining in Lugo or if you're doing your quarantine in your hometown, but I hope you're happy and healthy. Okay, we'll talk to you soon. Bye.